millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
They can work. When you get close, he can't fucking fight in the inside. Trust me. How long you been trusting me? Get close to him and just keep hoping. When I say penitentiary, put that knife in him. Put him in him.
I put on with this, yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, now we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young, rich nigga.
Separate yourself.
Yeah, I ain't playing with your ass. Nigga, I ain't playing with your ass. You chasing greatness. You got greatness talking to you. Become great. Non-stop. Keep the pace. I'm down.
Yo, what's going on out there? Y'all already know what it is. It's your boys, the Rize Podcast with your boy, Coach Squeeze, a.k.a. the Smoothie King. Right back at y'all with another one. Y'all already know what it is. It's Friday on the Rize Podcast. Hope y'all had a safe and blessed week. And stay prayed up in this journey called life. And let's keep on pushing and do the best we can with what we have. Y'all know how we do over here, man. We gotta keep on pushing on till they throw dirt over. That's the name of the game. And before we get started, y'all know what we do. Let's get the sponsors out of the way. 5-time world champ, 4 different weight classes. First ballot Hall of Famer, Baltimore's own, GTD Promotions, redesigning minds, one mind at a time. We know a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Shout out to www.kenichiband.com. Use code TRP. And you'll get 15% off. Shout out to www.narslipgallery.org. Go over to Damari's page. Support him in his boxing journey and merch. Shout out to www.miakillerb.com. Keep her in y'all prayers and our healing process, so she could get back to doing what she love and enjoy. Go over to her website and support her, www.miakillerb.com. Tell them the Smoothie K sent you. Shout out to Richie Baby for the 5 edits and intros. R.I.P. to John Boy. R.I.P. to Miss Tanya Vandross Williams Jr. Shout out to Bad Girls Promotion featuring Miss Nikki, a.k.a. Miss Olivia Pope. Keep her in y'all prayers and her healing process. And Coach Brandy. Shout out the EOE, Education Over Everything, my brother movement. Shout out to Just Do Boxing, Hardcore Boxing News, Stretched Out Boxing, Four Corners Boxing featuring Maurice and Jenny Jones. Go over there every Wednesday night to 15 rounds of boxing. Support them in their boxing journey. And 15 rounds of boxing. Shout out to Aunt McQueen Boxing, Stretched Out Boxing, AO Clothing Line, Pro Soul Boxing Gear, and Clothing Line. Go over and check them websites out. You ain't got to get nothing, but go over there and see what the brothers doing. Support your black businesses. We say that they need to be business-like entrepreneurs, But we need to go over there and at least look at what they got. Might see something that we like, and support them. And I know times are tough, but we can go out and buy Louis Vuitton, Guess, the list goes on, Jordans. They don't need no more money. Let's get some of these young brothers up there where they can take care of their families, So, but we're going to keep pushing, man. And like I always say, I do everything in my power to do what I can on my end to promote these young brothers. Shout out to Under Armour. Thanks for all that you do. Don't forget to go down to 1901 Pennsylvania Avenue. Get your Sarge Essentials 12 rolls for $7. Shout out to Miss Mona, Miss Yaya's, Just Boxing, Melody Queens, Daryl Hopkins. Shout out to Joshua Furlong, Timothy Stopma, Kyle Coolett, all the people that I haven't been seeing in the chat. I pray that their families is good. Like I say, man, it's tough times out here. And shout out to I don't want to forget nobody. Yeah, I haven't seen Miss Arena in the chat. That's crazy. Shout out to her. And last but not least, the official gear boxing, all the fighters winning. Y'all can say it with me in the chat on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Box. Raw. I know. Richie baby. I know. Check this out. Richie baby. Yeah. Well, that's just what it is. It is what it is. Love you too, nephew. See you young, nephew. And, you young. And you got to understand. You got to let people be. You got to let people, Richie baby, be on their Darnell Jones stuff, nephew. Where they want to be. Sweeter did I don't mean to hurt you, baby. Oh, no. Oh, never did I imagine you would play a major part in the decision that's so hard. Do she leave? Do she stay? Do she go? It's all good, man. I know it's all good. You know what I mean? But let me holler at everybody in the chat. We're gonna keep going, man. Things will never be the same. That's just the way it is. Oh yeah. Unique guard. He need to tell Ortiz to sign a contract. Fight boots in early 26. Daryl Hopkins, peace and blessings. Stretched out boxing. Peace and blessings in the building. Melody Queen 27. Salute. Coach Squeeze Senior and the Rize family. Peace and blessings. Melody Queen 27. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way in, please. And then thank you. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Rize Podcast. Cash App $GEESSUS $Coach Squeeze. To support the channel, get your merch on the RizePodcast.com. Abdul Minique, Just Do Boxing. Stretched Out Boxing. Ace is a place of the helping hardware store. I can't stop, yeah, I feel I'm digging on you, you digging on me, he digging on me. Last night, you brought something special out of me, oh baby. See who else we got in here. Showtime, the guy, my peoples. Thanks for your support, Showtime, the guy. He be watching all my little videos and all of my stuff. Appreciate you. Showtime, the guy. Love you back, nephew. Richie baby. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay positive, yo. That's the main thing, yo. Because the devil will come at you in so many ways. I'm dealing with a lot of financial issues and stuff like that. But I just I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna do everything I can in my power to try to make things better. And that's just what it is. Yup. Leave it in God's hands. Uncle Squeeze, I went to my cousin's funeral this morning, and I'm holding it together. I wasn't going to tap in tonight. I was feeling more down when I got home, but I got the notification. Appreciate you. Amen. Let's send out prayers out. The Eon BS can't stop Uncle E. At this moment, you know how we do on here. We all family on here. So at this moment, we going to put boxing on hold for one moment. And we going to give Can't Stop Uncle E, Eon BS, a moment of silence for his cousin. Because we all family on here. And may he rest in peace. A moment of silence. Rest in peace, man. May God touch your family in these tragic times of grief and sorrow. From the Rize podcast family, that's our blessings we gonna send to our family, Eon BS, better known as Can't Stop Uncle E. Richie baby, all the trolls, all the fakes, we gotta keep that at distance. They gonna be there. Oh man, thanks, Can't Stop Uncle E. I appreciate that, man. You don't know when I hear that, man, what I went through today, man. It ain't what you went through, but it was draining. But when I see stuff like that, it do pick my spirits up and motivate me to keep pushing. Appreciate that, Eon BS. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, Richie baby, because when you love someone, you just don't treat them bad. My man. Just do say my condolences to you and your family. Adu Malik, condolences to you and your family. Tim TT MZ. Eon BS, I appreciate all my Rize family, man. Thank you all. It's greatly appreciated. You welcome, man. You welcome. If I could reach somebody and boost them up and make their day, that's I did my job. Yeah. Whatchamacallit, what it do? Salute Rize Podcast and family, JBT Network, Upton Gym, GTD, Under Armour, Bad Girl, and Box Raw 100. Whatchamacallit ain't been in the joint in a minute too. All right, y'all. Is Turki Sheikh bringing a Stop the Fighters ducking? And let's talk boxing. Let's chop it up, y'all. Whatever is on y'all mind, let's talk it up. Yeah, Richie baby, you gotta. I tried to pull you up, and I couldn't. I tried to pull you up, Richie baby, the day you told me. I darn sure did. Because I need to kick it with you. Yeah, I just did. That's you with the ski coat on, champ. I'm hitting you now. All right, I just hit you. Okay, with the Fendi coat. Okay, nephew. All right. Oh, okay, I got you. Let me hold something. Yo, with the Fendi joint on. Yo, looking like Mike Tyson and shit. Mike's son and shit. I got you now, Richie. I'm gonna be hitting you up too, so we could discuss where we need to move and the directions, what we could do better. Yeah, I'm gonna be hitting you, champ. I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I'm definitely gonna be hitting you. Eon BS. Yeah. Thanks for the love and the Cash App, champ. I don't want to say y'all government name, but thanks for the love and the Cash App. It's well appreciated. Eon BS. Oh yeah, chat. Don't forget to Tank Davis that like button. Sub if you're enjoying the show. I'll tell a friend to tell a friend that the Rize Podcast is the place to be. 100. Marshall Triggs, what it do? Richie Baby, I'm gonna be sending some stuff into the gym. We're gonna catch up. Okay, champ. True culture. That'll work, man. Yeah, how y'all feel, man? Is Turkey out of Sheikh bringing a stop the fighters ducking? How y'all feel about that? I mean, I think the only way, yeah, Showtime the guy, thanks. I don't be wanting to say people's names because they lean on me. Oh, Squeeze, you put my government out there. Showtime the guy, thanks for the love, man. That's well appreciated, man. True culture. What it do? Yeah, I think that, I mean, only way you can, he not bringing it to a stop. His money is. He ain't got shit to do with it. Because if he ain't had the money behind him, he wouldn't be able to stop nothing. So let's get that cleared out of the way. It's his money that's bringing it a stop the fighters ducking. It ain't him per se. He ain't got no magic. His magic wand is them greenbacks. Doug, man, let's talk. I hope he could get Tank to fight a top guy at 135. One of the other champions. We need to see Tank unify. Yeah, that's a good statement, man. But you know how Tank is, man. Tank ain't worrying about them belts, man. You gotta pay them sanctioning fees for those belts. Andre Ward was talking about that, Doug, man. The money you gotta pay monthly, like taxes. Who wants to get paid $500,000 and your fees, sanctioning fees for the belt monthly? You paying thousands and thousands of dollars for sanctioning fees. Don't nobody want that. Oh, there you go, Joshua Furlong in the building. Tank should fight Jake Paul, then Shakur. Joshua Furlong back. You sure you ain't smoking that, nephew? You ain't, or is that a burner account? That's you? That ain't no burner account, is it, nephew? Give me a sign. Send me a sign. Yeah, what y'all know about Abdullah Mesa opponent? I gotta look into him, man. I heard he got opponent coming up, but I'm gonna have to check him out. Okay, yeah, that's you. That's you, champ. Yeah, that's Joshua Furlong. He's speaking to everybody. Doug, man, yeah, I know paying that money probably ain't no joke. What the hell wrong with my computer? Why is it dark like that? But I didn't know that you had to pay sanctioning fees for belts. Mag Life, what it do? Meg 7 Life. Man, I'm just hanging in there, man. May God bless you and your family, chat. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, I didn't know I thought once you won a belt that you won it. Until you lost it, I'm confused. Eon B, I say Devin gonna get dropped, I think. I know he gonna get dropped. Showtime the guy. I would like to see Tank versus Roach. Gary Russell Jr. then leave the game and fight Abdullah Mace. Doug Man say Jake Paul is too big for Tank. Let Jake go fight one of those cruiserweights. Mike Rhyme, what it do? I drive old cars, what it do? Yeah. That's crazy, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I feel the same way that I've been wanting to see the Tank and Devin Haney fight. Salute, I drive old cars. I've been wanting to see that when Devin was down at lightweight. I would have wanted to see that. And Shakur, I would have liked him to have been on the list. You know, I want to see those fights too. I wanted to see Lemon Pepper Wings get touched up. True Culture say Devin Haney will hit and run all night. Devin is a great boxer with a glass chin. I drive old cars. Hey, Squeeze, I was tripping. Anthony Yard going to get knocked the duck out. Yeah, Anthony Yard don't got no chin. I don't know. He might be able to withstand 88 punches. I don't know. Mag Life, Mag 7 Life. Yo, Squeeze, you see how Roach had his shorts? Man, shit crazy. Yeah, you know what? Mag 7 Life, it's funny you said that because me, Coach Josh, Coach Speedy, Deaths Inedible, we sit and watch the Roach and Tank fight from round 1 to 12. And all three of us was in agreement. I'm not going to say call nobody name, but one of us out of the three thought that Roach could have done enough to win depending on what you saw. And then after we sit and watch the fight and went round for round, they recanted their story saying it was no way that Roach won that fight. Tank clearly won that fight by 2 rounds. And even in the round, he took the knee in. Let's count that as an 8. Right? Let's count that as a knockdown. When Tank got his eye wiped, go back to that round. When he came after getting his eye right, he put it on Roach a little bit. He picked it up and went at Roach. And I think it was round 8 or 9. He stung the shit out of Roach. Stinky legged him. I don't hear nobody talking about it round 8, round 9, when Tank was hitting Roach with some hellacious shots and stinky leg Roach. He heard him. Nobody talks about that. All they talk about is that knee. Not by a punch, but when his braid got in his eye. Okay, cool. Count that as a knockdown. he still ain't win that fight. I watched it. We watched it again. Go round for round. Let's just keep it a buck. If he'd have lost, I would have more than liked to say, yeah, he ain't do enough. It's a lot of stuff Tank ain't do. And to me, it just looked like he was holding back. I drive old cars say he too slow. No movement. David gonna kill him. I drive old cars say I rewatched it 6 times. I seen a draw. If the knee count, he lose. Okay. I don't know what you was counting. I drive old cars. I would have to spin. You would have to sit down, and I don't know what you was counting. Everybody see stuff different. Even with the knee, Tank ain't lose that fight. Showtime, the guys say 7-5 or 8-4 Tank. Big Billow, 6-6 draw, not counting the knockdown. Y'all seen what y'all saying. Hey, I can't get mad at that. But it's no way in the world Tank should have lost that fight. In my eyes. And that's not being biased. I went and looked from round to round and see what was counting, what was not counting. 12 threes, holding back. Now, you know Tank better than me. I thought the same respectfully. If you notice, when do Tank come out and touch somebody's glove up? Then soon the bell rung, yo went over the Roach and dabbed him up, went straight over the Roach's corner. When have y'all ever seen Tank show somebody that type of respect while he fighting them? I looked at that today. It was like he was being too nice. That's just my opinion. I know him, and I done seen him spar bigger guys, and he hurt Roach. I see y'all calling it a draw. I see y'all saying everything else, but y'all not saying the rounds Tank rocked the shit out of. That's what I'm saying. True Culture say that was a sparring boxing match. They were talking to each other the whole fight. They was. I never seen them do that neither. 12 threes. He had too much respect because even at the press conference, yo was like, don't bring your mother, like, passively. And he started laughing like a 5-year-old. And Rose said, what you say? He said, don't bring your son or mother. And he said, my mother right there, you know she come to every fight. She said, I'll be there. And he like, I ain't gonna say nothing. And he started laughing. Yeah. That was crazy. I just ain't see that full throttle kill mode by Javante that night. And I was waiting for it. I saw it in glimpses, but I don't want to be disrespectful to nobody in the chat, but you got to know what you watching and what counts and what you giving Roach credit for. Hitting on the arms and elbows and gloves. If that's the case, he won unanimous decision. I'm saying it out my mouth. The Smoothie King, quote me. The only way Roach won that fight, if y'all was counting hitting gloves, arms, and elbows. Was he getting in clean shots? Look at each round for round. Ain't like Roach threw an 8 or 9 or 10 piece and he was touching Tank here and there. Then you seen Tank stop moving, start biting down. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's nowhere in the world. There's nowhere in the world. Daryl Hopkins. Maybe Tank didn't want to hurt his homeboy. Next time will be different. Lisa Smith, how you doing? Mag 7 Life. And to be honest, Roach is too big and Tank still won. We went, like I say, Mag 7 Life, we went round for round. And the person recanted his story was like, nowhere in the world that was a draw. Tank did enough to win. They edged that fight out. Yeah, they was talking. They was chirping a lot. But once again, they was doing big Billo, no Diddy. They stood toe to toe in them later rounds. They stood toe to toe. That's what I saw. I can't say what y'all saw with y'all eyes because I'm not in y'all eyes. I'm not in y'all mind. I don't know what y'all counting and what y'all saw. If Tank got his ass whooped, I would have said he got his ass whooped. If Tank lost, like, yeah, he ain't doing nothing. I just ain't see that. Was Tank, I can't say Tank wasn't as aggressive as I used to seeing him. He could have turned it a little more up in the later rounds like he normally do. So he was talking a lot though. Showtime the guy. It looked like Tank carried Roach and they put that bag on the distance. That's what it looked like. No, now one of them really had no. They certain rounds they did open up. Out of the 12 rounds, I'm gonna give you out of that 12. Out of that 12, what I saw, at least 5 of them rounds, they opened up on each other. Everything else was strategic, compact. And you're right. He wasn't throwing in combos like he should have. But Tank never really do throw 4 or 5 punch combos. No, I mean, he ain't do he didn't do a lot backing up during the fight, but you should see them rounds when Tank start biting down and coming forward. He was backing up, but he didn't do too much backing up on a whole 12 round. I can honestly say that. I can honestly say Tank was more moving first. Then when Tank bit down, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't like Murray Hunter in the corner. Great guy. He ain't did nothing to me, but he ain't know what buttons to push on Tank. If that was Calvin, Calvin would have been telling them what to do precisely. But he had Barry as his head trainer. Calvin was saying little stuff, Kenny was, but he was listening to his head trainer. Lisa Smith, Coach Squeeze, do you think if would have been a different outcome if Coach Calvin and Kenny was in their proper place? I know it would have been. Mag 7 Life, I think it was Fight of the Year. They stood toe to toe. Stretched out boxing, you had to take compu box numbers with a grain of salt also. They make mistakes. We was talking about that too. Special K, don't fight your friends and associates. I drive old cars. I can't say he carried them because the killer never turned on him. Whatchamacallit? He lasted all 12 rounds. I guess that's how you get a draw. Roach with the draw. And that is what it is. Sky's the limit. Fruits. Tank spoiled us with so many KOs that anything less is considered a loss. He won. Hey, y'all, do me a favor. We heating up in here. I think we coming up. It's 9:41. We coming up into the championship rounds. It's round 8. What is 8:41? I say it's round 9. Let's close this podcast out good. Let's go out with a bang. Stand toe to toe in the chat. And because it's heating up in here. Fritz say, Tank spoiled us with so many KOs that anything less is considered a loss. He won. Lee Jackson, salute. And he say all facts. Melody Cooley 27. I didn't like Barry in the corner either. I couldn't bring the Doug out of. He couldn't bring the Doug out of Tank. Big Billow. Tank only landed double-digit punches in 4 of 12 rounds. Roach landed double-digit punches in 6 of 12 rounds. See, you saying landed. Are you counting Roach hitting gloves and arms? Fritz, Tank fooled us with too many knockouts that anything less that is a loss. A loss to some folks. Adam Brashear, Tank needs to get back to those combos he was throwing versus Pedraza. We was looking at it saying the same thing, 1 or 2 punches at a time. He was off of the brick. Normally when Tank throw that brick, he come back with that hook, swivel, come back with the full to the liver. True culture. Tank made Roach famous overnight. Time to move on to the biggest payday fights. Now, Stevenson versus Tank on a Turkey card. Big Billow, I agree. Calvin should be head trainer, but Tank wasn't arguing with Calvin every time he said something. We saw that. We saw the back and forth. I don't know what, but that ain't that normal typical behavior I see when them two communicate. Y'all gotta understand sometimes us as parents, we let our kids, okay, go ahead. You want to do it that way? I'm going to be here for you. I love you. But I'm going to let you go ahead and test the waters. We got to do that sometime. Twelve threes. Just seemed like Tank wanted a left cross KO. Drew it more than usual. I drive old cars. How do you feel about the Keyshawn interview. I ain't watch all of it, so I ain't gonna really comment on it because I don't want to give no bad assessment. So I need to sit down and lock in and watch it. Eon BS Coach 40 Cal already confirmed him and Kenny is working with Tank only. Ant McQueen, the wizard in the chat. Stretched out boxing, combo box can be the furthest thing from an exact account of punches landed. What's going on, Ant? Love to you and the family. Yeah, because I ain't know nothing about no Lamont Roach before Tank fought him. Big Billo. Tank was arguing with Calvin is what I meant to say. And no, fam, I'm not counting block punches. LOL. Well, I did. I mean, look. Check this out. Big Billo. First of all, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you coming over here. I hope you liked and subscribe. Some people see one thing y'all gotta understand about boxing. People see stuff different, and it's your version, is my version, and it's the truth. What I saw, a lot of the punches bouncing off a Tank arm. Lance Meyer, what it do? God bless you and your family. Yeah, so, I sit down and I really watched it, I really watched it. Yeah. I really watched it, man. But it's just like somebody said in the chat early. It looked like to me a spawn match. Mag 7 Life, Big Billo. Don't you have to beat the champ? Oh, if it's Tank, you just gotta make it to the 12th. Tank won. Big Billo say, that's why I respect everyone's opinion about what they saw, because everybody's perspective going to be slightly different. Yeah, people zap out, oh, nigga, you don't know what you talk about, the mother, this, that, we ain't doing all that. We ain't doing all that. Not over here, not me. Not me. Not doing that. Yeah. I really love boxing, and I really love the sport. I really like to talk about the sport and commentate the sport. And I got to pay a close attention onto what I'm watching, what I was going to be counting if I was one of the judges. And the judges have a different angle than what we have. We watching it from home, so we see more than the judges. They sitting outside the ring. They got a bunch of blind spots. Did y'all know that? Are y'all taking that in consideration? 12 threes. It was frustration from Tank. He wanted Calvin to wipe his forehead and braids too. Get the grease off. That's what you talking about, Billo. Whatchamacallit. So Roach trunks were high. We said that. One of the coaches, Coach Josh, Fresh Films Poe, go over YouTube, check out his boxing videos. That's Josh Fresh Films Poe on YouTube. So Roach trunks was high, and with Tank taking the knee, which was the only way you give Roach a draw. Plus Tank didn't do his usual. Leave the ground hard. Uncle Squeeze. I don't know what you asking, what you call it. I'm trying to interpret what you saying. I'll make that a little clear. I don't know if you asking me, you're telling the people in the chat. I'm not understanding that. Leave the ground hard. Uncle Squeeze, people talking crazy in this time of day, talking about greatness from a man that still think their opinion matters. Just because they got a podcast, but can't take away from the chant or the chant maker. Yeah, they was high. They was high. He looked like he was fighting Roscoe on Martin. Yeah, but like I was saying, true culture. What I was saying is to about Turki Sheikh bringing a stop to fighters ducking. He ain't bringing a stop to it, but I think that the money that he had, yeah. All right, y'all, let me bring him on in. Brother Ant McQueen, I can't even give him a proper intro because he coming in around closing the arguments. Brother Ant McQueen.
What's going on? No, I just want to state it one more time. Them compy box numbers, deceptive. We gotta watch these fights, rewatch them with our eyes. Look at everything from the bottom to the top. Who's able to do what they want to do? Who's influencing the other person? Me personally, I thought the draw was fair, simply because I didn't feel like either one of them really truly separated themselves in that fight. I did have Tank ahead in the first half of the fight. I had it damn near clean.
You know what? I like to sit down. Where was three of us to sit down and watch that fight again? 3 coaches. One of them recanted their story. We actually sit down and watched it blow for blow, round from round. I didn't see no draw. Even with the knee, if you counted the knee.
I had Tank ahead in the first half of the fight. I felt like when Lamont started to make more headway was in the second half, like around round 7. Round 8 was pretty good for him. The knee, the round with the knee, I actually thought Tank did the better work in that round. 10 was pretty good for Lamont. The one thing that really just confused me about it was Tank going away from the body work. He did some really good body work in that fight, Squeeze.
He could have did more.
Yeah.
I didn't see the whole arsenal, the whole repertoire that we was accustomed of seeing.
And throwing the left hand without no setup. That's generally not
throwing
what he
the
does.
left hand without coming back with a right hook. He did it in spurts. He did it at times, but not as efficient as we was accustomed to seeing him do.
I think he should have stayed with the body work though. Round 5 in particular. I got some stuff clipped up. I'm gonna send it to you via text. But in round 5, the body work that he was doing, beautiful work to the body. I just felt like he got away from it just way too soon.
I don't think he did enough body work neither. I think he could have did a little bit more body work too.
The things I like with Lamont was the jab. I like Lamont's jab in the back half of the fight in particular. I liked his jab. And
that's what I'm gonna do for the people on here that's watching. Let me look into the screen. I'm going to do this for y'all, and you can take it for however you want to. I don't care. I'm tired of it. Tank carried that boy, bottom line. Roach is not on Tank level. Period. Point blank. I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Tank said he was tough. Tank said he wasn't no pushover. But the only one could beat Tank is Tank. A well-focused Tank, he'd have ate the hell out of Roach by 7 or 8.
I think Roach one of them guys that he got to break down. Because I think from an IQ standpoint, like Lamont Roach, the approach that Tank was taking around like in the 7th in particular, when Roach had those moments where he countered him, I just don't think that's the approach that you take with him. I think you got to just break him down, use the speed. When Tank was using his speed, it was clear like he was just too quick for Lamont Roach. Lamont Roach did some things that I did like though, like when Tank would try to feint him and draw him in or something, Roach would just take a little half step back, just get out of range momentarily. So he's an intelligent fighter. I think he's intelligent. I do think he's crafty, but I feel like the separation between the two is just the speed. Like it was pretty glaring. Like there was a moment I want to say in the 11th round when they were in the center of the ring and they were both throwing kind of like in the exchange in the pocket, and Tank's speed was considerably better than Lamont Roach's. So I just felt like that was a fight where it would have benefited him to just break him down. Just break him down. Because what a lot of guys did in the past with Tank is they got to a point where they just hung themselves out to dry. Like we seen Rolly through the same combination over and over again because it felt like he was having success. He's throwing the 1-2-1, throwing the same combination over and over again. Tank is just too sharp, and he's going to pick up on those things. Even if he doesn't capitalize on it the first time he sees it, you do it several times, oh, he's going to pick up on it. And it's only a matter of time before he run you into something. And that's what he did with Rolly. Rolly's throwing the same combination squeeze, 1-2-1, 1-2-1, 1-2-1. And then you combine that with the fact that the footwork, he light on his feet, he fall in when he throw. He was
like Rolly neither.
Ran him into the shot. Leo Santa Cruz threw a right hand. He threw 3 of them in a row, consecutive. Like you just begging to just get knocked out, doing stuff like that with Tank. My man Mario Barrios, he picked up on every time he was hitting him with them level changes. Barrios was pulling straight back and dropping his lead hand. Then in the 8th round, what Coach Calvin tell him? Over the top. Hit him with the feints, hit him with the feints. Came with the overhand right when he dropped his lead hand. I thought that Lamont Roach did a good job of not hanging himself out to dry and not tipping his hand, not falling into any crazy patterns. The 10th round in particular, I thought that was probably one of his best rounds because when Tank was on the back foot trying to run him into a shot, what I did like from Roach was that he was very intentional about his positioning, occupying the high guard and all that other stuff. But I just want to see it again.
Of course.
Because they're both highly skilled, both very intelligent. But just looking at the both of them, you know, again, like round 11 in particular, like when it was high speed chess, Tank definitely had the advantage because of that speed. That speed, man. That speed. So I feel like if there would be any way to run him into a shot that he doesn't see, pick up the speed, make him work a little bit. But like at that pace that they were fighting at, I think that's a comfortable pace for Lamont Roach.
It was.
It was a comfortable pace for him.
That's a fact right there. That was work. That worked more in Roach's wheelhouse. That pace. Yeah. Yeah, that worked as
And folks say that Tank is a slow starter, but we've seen fights in the past where he fought with pace, like the fight that he had against the dude Cuellar. Like he fought with pace in that fight. The Pedraza fight, fought with pace in that fight. The Pitbull fight wasn't a slow pace fight. Mainly because of Pitbull, you know how he give it up. It's like you got to give him some sort of resistance. So he's capable. He's capable of upping the pace.
Let me say something. Look, Big Billo, that's not everybody. I rock with Tank, but anytime I critique his performance and try to explain how he didn't do enough versus Roach, it deemed as hating. That's for people that's narrow-minded. You're not speaking to the masses when you make that statement. And people got to know your intention. What are your intentions? Are you really critiquing the fight, or it's a personal critique, or you're critiquing performance? You got to figure, I'm at the gym with all these fighters every day, and they come over to me. How did I look? You ain't look good today. You could have left your hands go more. You didn't move your head. I said the same thing about Tank. It was punches there he wasn't throwing. It looked like, to me, he was holding back. I've seen it in the gym. I don't know what else to say. I'll be there during the maturation period. I'm not talking about somebody I never seen perform. I done seen Tank get light heavyweight dudes out of there. It was just, I didn't see that switch. Meg 7 Life. And I'm telling y'all, man, Roach was big in that ring. His shorts was too high. Stretch out boxing. I feel Tank tried to make the fight more entertaining and waited too late to pull further ahead to leave no doubt. I believe he won, though. I drive old cars. One thing you can't take away, Lamont Roach, senior coached his ass off. True culture. Stretched out boxing, I agree. Whatchamacallit? Roach had a game plan and he stuck with it. Tank had to engage more than Gerard Hadidi. You had to beat the champion, and Roach just murdered Tank. What are you going to do when that pace get picked up? Uncle Dre Finest, you dig? Salute, Big Squeeze, and Ant, you dig? Lisa Smith, I thought he fought with pace with the Frank Martin fight, in my opinion. Ant McQueen, yeah, he started picking it up around the third. Jarrell Hadid, people be sitting in the cut. Can't wait to criticize Tank. Want him to be less than the height. Certain people, not everybody. Ralph 707, Ant, you play Madden. Ralph always trying to come at you with stuff. Love you though, 707. Say the man look like a rapper coming out. Now he's saying the man. The Ant ain't worried about that stuff, man. Y'all can't rattle Ant McQueen, yo. I drive old cars. Tank turned different from Leo Santa Cruz. Like, he really became pro Durst fight to me. He said that fight he felt comfortable. Yeah. How do you feel, Squeeze, about you got to beat the champion? Yeah, you know it's hard to get a razor thin decision. Me and Ant fighting. Ant got 3 belts. And y'all saying I beat Ant by 1 point, 2 points. That y'all saw the fight. Me and Ant had 3 belts. I'm going to take 3 belts from Ant McQueen by throwing 2 more punches than him that connect. Where they do that at? Y'all know how many people I see get robbed on the amateur circuit and professional. That wasn't that in this case. That wasn't that in this case, man.
Yeah, that's not something. Me personally, I don't necessarily subscribe to that notion. The same with the whole championship rounds thing. I think you just got to score each round as its own entity, not the entirety of the fight. Just because it's the 11th and the 12th, these rounds shouldn't be any more significant. The only way that those rounds should be the deciding factor is if it was tied going into the championship rounds. Aside from that, you know, score them the same way you would score the first round or the second round or the third round. And with the whole beat the champion thing, me personally, I think it just comes down to the money, especially if it's a champion that generates a lot of money, because 3% of his purse is worth a lot more than 3% of, you know, the other guy's purse, especially if he isn't a big draw, he's not a big name. It just is what it is.
I'm just telling you now, they not giving me no win over Ant McQueen by I landed 2 more points, 2 more punches than Ant McQueen, and they gonna give me the unification belts. Shit, they was saying that Lomachenko, Lemon Pepper Wings, beat Devin Haney. A lot of people saying they robbed Lemon Pepper Wings. I didn't see that. I think that Devin Haney beat. I think Devin Haney, but when it comes to certain people, I hear stuff, and I'm not going to really say nothing because people get in their feelings, but I see how the narrative changes when it's Tank. If he not literally beating the shit out of somebody or knocking them out, it's a bunch of bullshit that come with it. But anybody else can fight a certain way. They don't get the same energy that he gets. I noticed that. That's some biased stuff. It's bias. It's bias. There's no way on shape, fashion, or form to me that should have been a draw and that Roach did enough. I watched the goddamn fight. I know what I'm looking at. I sit down and watched it with a team of elite coaches. I guess all of us some dumb, slow MFers. Never one of us saw a draw in that room. And people that wasn't a Tank fan, just a couple people that came in and watched it. They not even Tank fans like that. It's beside me. But Devin Haney beat Lomachenko, and they saying they robbed him. But I watched the fight, and I say no. Quote unquote, Ant don't like the head, but the championship rounds, Lomachenko came on. What people say, he took too long to come on. I wonder why it's different with Tank. Interesting. I saw in that 11th and 12th round, Tank ain't back up. He was moving forward. They were sitting there trading fire. I can't say go back and watch it again because I don't know what y'all count. I'm not sitting there with. I gotta sit there. We gotta sit there together. I gotta be in the room with you. I need to see what you saw that rendered that this was a draw. I need to be sitting there with you because I can't explain it to you. I can't explain it to you. You gonna score it the way you saw it. But I sit in the room with an elite staff. That's all we do is coach boxing. But it's all good, Mr. Henson. Tank and Canelo are the faces of boxing. Joseph Foster, they love cross. They joints on Tank. Big Billo, Devin versus Loma could have easily been a draw. It was a close fight. I had it 7-5 David. I don't think he did enough. I and a couple people when it went, they robbed Lomachenko. This I don't know what the hell they was looking at. I don't know what they was looking at, but that's here there. It's phony because Roach didn't go for the W in his biggest fight. He more went for the draw. Yeah, he ain't like let's rewatch it on Casual's Corner. That'd be nice. I drive old cars, so we all can watch it together and critique it from round to round.
I'll take the copyright. I'll take the copyright strike for that.
Yeah, that would be nice. But once again, I'm not mad at nobody opinions and their views because it is what it is, But I sit there and I watched, and I don't see how that could have been a draw. Tank did enough to pull that off. I don't know what was cooking in the kitchen, but it is what it is, man. I take it the way it is.
That's all you can do. That's all
it's
you
all
can
good.
do.
I ain't in the ring. I ain't getting no money for it, but I try to be non-partial what I see. Bottom line. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe some of it is what Jarrell has stated previously. Folks had to search, and some were waiting to see some sort of chink in the armor. See, I told you he wasn't what y'all said he was.
Yeah. You hear that? Where they get that from? From the Roach fight. So, this the crazy part. It's these people who say that. I'm only talking to the people who makes those type of statements. This dude knocked out 28, 29 people. He get a draw. He ain't what he say it is. Stop it. They stood win, lose, draw. They stood toe to toe. They stood toe to toe. You was on the edge of your seat. But let's paint the picture. Oh, he runs too much. Shakur runs too much. Devin runs too much. Okay, you had two guys that stood toe to toe. But he ain't what he say he is. He showed he had Doug. Roach was the bigger guy. We see the size factor when they faced off. I get it. Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, and it's a very weird space too. It's a very weird space to be in because on one hand, it seems like it's difficult for people to give Roach the right amount of credit. Like, he showed up, he did his thing, proved he could box. But on the other hand, Yeah, some people. But on the other but on the other hand, it's like, because he went the distance, like we don't have to overblow it as far as denigrating Tank is concerned. Like he went the distance with a guy who can box, who was prepared, who showed up on the night. Nothing more or less. Nothing more or less. Nothing more or less. Because prior to the fight, man, there were a lot of people who were trashing Lamont Roach. Oh, he's a bum, this, that, and the third. And then when I had conversations with him, I would ask
Yeah,
him, they'd be like, have you ever seen him fight? No.
yeah.
I ain't ever seen him fight. So I'm like, how the hell is he a bum? Or how is this a cherry pick? Especially when you consider that this dude was a replacement. You got to remember, Vasily Lomachenko was the original opponent for November. He pulls out of the fight. Several other people were offered the fight. Lamont Roach stepped up to the plate. He wasn't the first choice. Me personally, I was excited for the fight because I had watched quite a few of his fights. I'm like, damn, this guy can box. Them two got some history with each other, some familiarity. And I think that's important, not just stylistically, but also psychologically. It's like if I got history with you, I don't look at you like everybody else does.
Let me throw this facts at him. These are fun facts. Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, 45 knockouts. Once he got in there with Canelo 3 times, not Canelo, didn't get Canelo out of there, he ain't what he said he is. And guess what? I was one of the people belting it out my mouth. So we get caught up sometimes before the dust clear that everybody you're not going to be able to knock out. Some people got a chin that could take some blows. The Crusher, Kovalov, knocking everything out, 30-something knockouts. Dr. Andre Ward to the canvas, got up. I guess Andre Ward lost that fight. Oh, he ain't what he say he is. Got up, let his hands go, took control of the rest of the fight. But he didn't knock Andre Ward out. Andre Ward come back, knock Crusher out. Oh, he was a bum the whole time.
And it's also important to look at these fighters holistically too, and not just for one particular attribute. You got to look at these guys holistically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If anything, we should appreciate the fact that some of these guys have versatility. They can box, like Triple G, for example. To go back to him, Triple G was a damn good boxer. I just felt like the power overshadowed how sound he was as a whole, as a boxer. Like Triple G was very well rounded. But that power, it overshadowed everything. So then when you don't knock something out, then it's like, oh, well, he wasn't this, that, and the third. But it's like, yo, he's also a very good boxer, and he still had that on display. I feel the same way about Tank. Like, I think Tank is a super underrated boxer. I've had so many conversations with people, and they were like, well, he get hit too much, this, that, and the third, right? Then you look at some of these guys who are known for their defense, like a Shakur Stevenson. And Shakur is a fantastic defensive fighter. He's at the top of the plus minus standings, right? Like which is the margin of punches landed against an opponent versus. And Tank is top 10 in the sport in plus minus. So what does that mean? That means he don't really get his hit as much as people think. Or his defense is a lot better than people think, especially when you factor in his output. He doesn't have a super high output. So that means he's doing way more hitting despite the fact that he doesn't throw that many punches than he's actually being hit. But if all you see is knockouts, then all you see is power. You're not looking at the setup. You're not looking at the intelligence. You're not looking at the precision. You're not looking at the footwork. You're not looking at any of these things that it takes to be a knockout artist. Not somebody who just has power, a puncher, but a knockout artist, somebody who's able to paint pictures in that ring. It's like you need a combination of all those things, not just punching power. Because look at how many guys got power, but then once they're in there with somebody.
I see it in the gym. Some of our hardest hitters. Gym champions. They go to the fights on the weekend. What happened? Oh, he got knocked out. The way he be dusting people in the gym, brandishing their powers. Always somebody out there hitting harder than you.
But ultimately, at a certain point, it takes more than just power. Like you got to be able to get it to the target. What is power without precision? Outkast, man, they had that song B.O.B. Remember the song B.O.B.? Don't pull the thing out unless you plan to bang. Don't even bang unless you plan to hit something. And that couldn't be any truer for boxing. You could have all the power in the world. But if you got trash spatial awareness, if you got horrible punch selection, if you don't know how to feint a man to draw a reaction out of him so you can drill him with a shot, then all that power means what? We just saw it. We just saw it this summer with Edgar Berlanga, right? Remember when he came out? It was 16 straight first round knockouts. Then they put him in there with guys who could think on a certain level, guys who have been in there with other fighters who had power. And what happened then? They were able to navigate around his power, able to circumvent his power.
Yep.
He was in there with Marcelo Coceres, didn't knock him out. I don't even think he dropped him. He was in there with Steve Rose, couldn't drop him. He was in there with Damon Nicholson, couldn't drop him. And so on and so forth. So you need more than that at your disposal. That would be a damn good fight, though, Braxton McClendon. That would be a damn good fight. The only reason why I don't believe he would get Shakur out of there early, and anything could happen, right? Anything could happen. But the only reason why I believe that he wouldn't is Shakur's eyes and his feet. I think that he would be looking to reset. And I think that he'd be able to avoid anything early.
He ain't getting no Shakur out there early.
I think Shakur is a guy that he would have to get to his body.
Yeah, he
slow him down.
Slow them legs down, beat on them
arms.
He got to do the Canelo beat on the arm thing.
He had to slow him down first. And then once you slow him down, that's when you start to utilize the feints and all these different things and mask the punches. Because Shakur's got really good eyes. They both do, honestly. They both have, like...
Shakur ain't going to get it to you.
They got a ridiculous set of eyes, the both of them. Because, man, I was rewatching that fight with Hector Garcia one day, and I'm looking at how many punches were just whizzing by just like by a hair. Core versus Kid Austin. I like Kid Austin. I like him, but I don't know, man.
He ain't doing nothing with no damn Shakur.
Nah, I don't know about that.
He ain't doing nothing with no Shakur. Now, we know he got way more pop on his shots than Cepeda did. It's a shame we didn't get to see that Shakur and Kid Austin fight. I think that was a PR move. I'm still not believing that what went down, but Shakur would have boxed circles around that boy. Like I told everybody what he was going to do to Cepeda. Cepeda was not on his level. And Cepeda threw a lot of Shakur stood toe-to-toe with him. Toe-to-toe with Cepeda.
And he looked a little tender to the body too, Kid Austin. And from my understanding, and this is by his own admission, he said he got hurt real bad in sparring by Shakur to the body. And then I'm not sure if you've seen he was sparring with Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason hurt him to the body, and it was somebody else he was sparring with too that hurt him to the body. And I think just by virtue of his technique, he would leave himself wide open to get in touch to the body. Just a little too wild with his attack, not very measured.
I don't care what nobody say, and I'm closing after this because I'm fighting my eyes. Man, I was on the phone with these daggone tax people today for about 2 hours. After I'm finished this stuff, I might be a legal tax attorney.
You got the crash course today.
All this damn week I've been on the phone with them. I wanted to, and I'm leaving with this. I wanted to see Tank versus Devin Haney 2 years ago. After what they did to Tank down at the Mayweather gym, Floyd in there grabbing Tank arm, Tank just getting off the plane, wasn't in shape, feeding Tank into feeding him to the wolves. He was fighting the whole gym. I wanted that. I wanted Tank to punish this boy. That's my closing arguments.
I wanted to see that fight as well. I don't think we're going to see it. That young man is going all the way up to 147. I don't believe we've seen it. I had him in that matchup. I had him being Tank. I had Tank in that matchup. I think Devin is good, but just the tendencies that he has, I feel like they play in the Tank's favor. You know what I mean? Like the slipping almost exclusively to the right, the probe issues, the jab being almost nullified just by virtue of the open stance. Like if every time you seen this dude fight a left-hander, Devin Haney, like his jab just kind of fell off a cliff. And we seen what Tank doing that long guard, like how he was doing with my man Ryan Garcia and just controlling that lead hand. Same thing with Barrios early on. I love watching that fight, listening to it. You hear Coach Calvin in the background, just keep touching him, just keep touching him. He out there in the long guard, keeping tabs on that lead hand.
It's a difference when you got the right person in your ear. It's a difference. Without that right guidance, we be doing it all the time. We coach every day. The kids don't listen. They do not freaking listen. For some damn reason. It's hard to coach an uncoachable person. That's why we know with Calvin in there, Calvin tell him right what he need to do at the time he need to do it.
That's super important too, right? Like that's the other part of it. And you said something very, very heavy, Squeeze. We always talk about the coaches and the quality of the coaches, right? It's of extreme importance that the person being coached is receptive to the coaching. Otherwise, it don't matter how good the coaching is. You could be out there giving the best instruction. If that person ain't willing to listen, then it's all for naught. You know what I mean? So, but my closing argument, small thing, all things, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to the GOAT moderator. We always got to end it with some of the special effects. Hold on. Stop playing with me, Apple. There we go.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all. Everybody I haven't seen in the chat in a while. Appreciate you guys, man. We chopped it up tonight, man. Like I said earlier, Turki Sheikh ain't bringing a stop to nothing. It's his money. If you want to attach them two together, I understand. But I'm talking about if he didn't have the money with the name Turki Sheikh, he wouldn't be. It's his bank account. He ain't no Don King. Man, do me a favor, everybody that was in the chat tonight, man, make sure y'all smash that like button. I appreciate y'all guys, everybody who showed love in the Cash App. $ code squeeze. Be safe out there. God bless y'all. This was the 5 show. We chopped it up. Ain't nobody called nobody out their name. Disrespect nobody. I loved how we carried ourselves on here. I want to say something. There's always someone that's not happy about something. That's life, nephew. You got a long way to go. I'm 56 years old, and I see it every day, Richie. I see it every day. Richie baby, Turki is giving back to the kids, taking people out and helping their families. He is. He is. He is. Uncle Dre Finest, you dig? I'm glad to see you. Whatchamacallit? I'm glad to see y'all up in here, man. Brashley McClendon's, all of y'all. Have a blessed weekend. Be safe. Love you guys. Let's keep each other in our prayers. And don't forget, can't stop Uncle E in y'all prayers for the loss of his cousin. Mag 7 Life. God bless you too, Squeeze. GTD for life. God bless the chat for well. Peace, man. Smash that like button. Subscribe. Let's go. We got 3 more months left in the year. Let's do it, y'all. Let's go on our mixtape Bill Haney tour. Everybody put your phone out and subscribe.
Some say you forgive, but don't forget it. Now you know how we do. Lock that back door, don't let no one through. I told Michi in these streets ain't no rules. He say, cuz all this life we ain't choose. Yeah. And I understand that this shit wasn't easy, but nigga, we did it. Yeah, yeah. And all them hoes and all them niggas that wasn't fucking with us, then we them niggas. And now we rich now. We got money. I don't give a shit, no. And we did it. Young nigga come up from nothing, now he getting to them riches. And it's the life of a young rich nigga.